What's up? It's Marco back on the Sage Soccer channel. Today we're going to talk about all the American transfers that have happened over the summer, including the ones that just happened on deadline day. Going to get into that first. I covered a bit of them yesterday, but some of them end up being different, some of them end up happening, so yeah, let's just get into it. So on deadline day yesterday, things started off with Matthew Hoppe going to Mallorca, who are a La Liga club in Spain, and man, that's a great move for him. He's going to a top flight league where he should have consistent playing time. Man, La Liga is a great place to develop strikers. I think we've seen guys like Antoine Griezmann come out of there. Diego Costa developed very well there. So there's a lot of strikers who can do very well over in there. And Mallorca, they're a good team, but I think that playing time will definitely be available for Hoppe. And yeah, I feel like it's a very good move. He's going to be going up against teams like Barcelona, Madrid, and Atletico. So yeah, I'm really excited for that. I feel like it's a very solid move for him. Next, we got Chris Richards, who's going back to Hoffenheim on loan. Another very good move. We're going to get into some not good ones later, but hey, starting off positive. So Chris Richards is returning to Hoffenheim, where he played the last half of last season. I feel like it's a good move for him to move on. Bayern did offer him a contract extension before he moved out, so it seems like his future is secure both in the short term and long term. Hoffenheim, I feel like it's a great place for him to develop, get some game time. He's going to a system that he already knows. Yeah, very good move for Chris Richards. Hopefully this will lead to him getting more Bayern playing time in the future, or at the very least a stable spot for him to stay if Bayern doesn't work out. Again, very solid move. Hopefully this will lead to him getting back to the national team, playing in full strength, because I feel like he's probably the defender with the highest ceiling on the entire national team, so you really want to see him playing a lot. Next, we got Cameron Carter-Vickers going to Celtic on loan, and I believe there is an option to buy. Now, I do like this move. It happened very late. I was worried that Cameron Carter-Vickers might get stuck at Tottenham, but I like this move to Celtic. I feel like Cameron Carter-Vickers was kind of high on our radars, then he kind of dropped off, but he's quietly been having a very good career. He went to Luton Town on loan and helped them avoid relegation 2 seasons ago. Then he went to Bournemouth and he helped them almost get promoted to the Championship. So I say at this point he's at the very least a very good Championship level center back, and that's pretty solid. But I feel like the step up to Celtic and the Scottish Premier League is very good. And it should be noted that I feel like Celtic and Rangers are a little bit different from other Scottish clubs. I feel like that's kind of a general sentiment. We're going to get to like Chris Mueller going to Hibs in a bit, but I feel like with Cameron Carter-Vickers, it's a very good move. They're a club with a bit of European pedigree. They will be playing in Europe. I feel like it might be the Conference League because of qualifiers, but hey, he'll be playing in Europe in front of a very big fan base, a lot of pressure on him. I feel like that's a good spot for him to go and develop. I mean, Virgil van Dijk came from Celtic before he went to Southampton and then Liverpool, so very good at developing defenders, and I feel like this is a good move for him. And also, they did want Mark McKenzie back in the winter. I remember that was a big rumor. So they've been wanting American center backs for a while. Next, Erik Palmer-Brown is going to Troyes on loan. Troyes, the Ligue 1 club over in France. Again, top 5 league where he'll be starting, though I do believe France is probably the 5th in the top 5 leagues. But hey, he'll be starting, getting a lot of game time. I like the move in the short term for playing time, but he does have to leave Man City because at this point, you're not going to get into that team. John Stones, Ruben Diaz, Laporte, at this point, just cut your losses, get out. It's kind of like a Matt Miazga situation, and jeez, we'll get to him. But yeah, I feel like in the short term, Troyes is a good move. I don't feel like that's his long-term option, but again, positive for now. But I'm not too sure if this is a move that's going to get him into the national team, or honestly even get him over someone like a Cameron Carter-Vickers. But hey, who knows? I mean, guys like Konrad have taken to the French league by storm, so could go well for him. And the last deadline day move I want to talk about is Nicolas Gioacchini. He's going to Montpellier on loan. I actually mentioned that he had interest from Ligue 1 clubs. I didn't know Montpellier was one of them, but it's good for him. I feel like it's a really solid move from just going up in the level, because him being stuck in the second tier of France, I mean, we saw his quality, but it's just, you want to be playing at a higher level in order to develop more. And even if his playing time goes down a bit, I feel like this is a good move for him. He's only there on loan, if I hadn't mentioned that. So that's kind of interesting. But again, I like the move. Hopefully it'll lead to more playing time. And yeah, that's all you can really say about that. So one guy who didn't get a transfer deadline day move, though, is Reggie Cannon. I feel like that was very interesting because you really did expect Reggie Cannon to move. I feel like he played in the Gold Cup explicitly for the point so that he'd get some attention so he would move on from Boavista. And he'd been linked with clubs from England and Spain and Italy and France, so you really expected him to move on, but it just didn't happen. He's back in the Boavista team. I don't feel like that's as bad as people are making it out to be, because Boavista's a solid squad. He gets to play in Portugal. No European football, but still a solid team. So I don't feel like it's that bad of a move. Like, if he had been at FC Dallas and then moved to Boa Vista, like this year, we'd all be excited about it. And him staying there another year, I don't feel like it's the end of the world, especially with winter transfers being a thing. But yeah, that's Reggie Cannon not getting moved, and Weston McKennie ended up staying at Juventus. I think most of us kind of knew that it was just noise that he might leave, but I feel like with a player as good as him, we were getting a little bit worried when those rumors came up. Okay, so that's it for deadline day, and next I just want to talk about some general big moves over the summer. I've talked about most of these already, so I'm not going to go too in-depth with them, but starting off, Konrad de la Fuente, he moved from Barcelona, or honestly maybe Barcelona B, to Marseille, and I wasn't expecting it to go as well as it did. He's taken to Marseille by storm, and he's been one of the better players in the French league so far. He's been looking really dangerous, and man, like, I think we knew how dynamic of a player he was just from, well, highlights are basically all you get to see, but his end product has been great in Marseille. He's been coming with a lot of assists. He's been looking really dangerous, and man, he's in the national team now, and I'm really excited about him. Hopefully he can push Giovanni Reina into the midfield. He can be on the wing with Pulisic. Maybe he fights with Aronson for that spot, but yeah, I'm really excited about Konrad. Next big move is Gianluca Busio going from Sporting Kansas City to Venezia. He's already been starting for them. Yeah, he's going to have to take some time to get adjusted to Serie A, but a very good move. And man, we'll get into Venezia. They also signed Tanner Tessman from FC Dallas, and they just loaned in Jack de Vries from the Philadelphia Union. And both of those moves, like, Busio makes sense. He's got the Italian passport. He's going to a club that just got promoted. He's going to get some playing time. I really like that move. And, man, even just defensive mids get developed very well in Italy. I mean, you had Pirlo, we had Marchisio, Barella, like, so many of those guys. But Tanner Tessman and Jack de Vries, like, I mean, I would have liked them to get some more playing time in the MLS. I'm not sure if they were ready for this move. I mean, my belief is that if you're good enough, you'll be able to force your way into the team. But, man, I mean, the combination of the culture shock and just not getting playing time right away, I'm not too sure about the moves for those two. But, hey, I mean, Venezia, they seem to be investing in American players. They probably have a plan and they know what they're doing. Well, judging by the results they've had so far, I'm not too sure. But, hey, something to look out for, I guess. Next, Caden Clark. He's going to be transferring to RB Leipzig in the winter. I feel like that's something we all knew about. Like, I remember I think I had mentioned it in a video, then I was like, wait, did that happen yet? And I looked and it hadn't been confirmed, but it's confirmed now. He's going to RB Leipzig, soccer's worst kept secret, as I was calling it. And yeah, I mean, playing time's going to be very tough because they've got a really strong midfield. The Hungarian guy whose name I cannot pronounce, Tyler Adams, like, good midfield, good solid team. They're going to be competing for Champions League spots, so those playing time might not be available. So maybe he gets a move to RB Salzburg on loan. Maybe he's competing with Brendan Aronson. Brendan Aronson could move on. Maybe Brendan Aronson goes to Leipzig. They have a swap thing. I don't know, but hey, he's getting his foot in the door in Europe, so you really like that move. Next thing, Dante Sealy, FC Dallas youth product, is loaned to PSV. I feel like that he'll be playing in their, is it their young team? Well, their younger team, JONJ. But, I mean, I like the move. We've seen guys develop more in the Dutch youth team. Serginho Dest started there. Richie Ledesma was making huge progress before his injury. And I feel like Dante Sealy can be a similar story. Now, I mean, has to see. I mean, right now he's just a guy playing in a younger team, so you can't really judge it too much. But we've seen it work out before, so that's something to be excited about. Okay, so next moves I want to talk about. Guys are making good steps in their career, but probably not like the biggest move. Josh Sargent moving from Werder Bremen to Norwich City, and man, it looks like he's going to be a championship player in a year's time, but hey, I mean, maybe he can do well. I mean, something about Norwich is they play really attacking, so Josh Sargent will get opportunities to play, opportunities to score, and really develop. So, like, I like the move in that sense, but man, it does not look good for Norwich at the moment. I'm really hoping that they stick with their current manager, Farke, because you like how they play, and to me, the Premier League kind of feels incomplete when Norwich isn't there. Just somebody who can just, like, every week they're liable to get smashed 6-0, but they'll still pull out a win against Arsenal every now and then, But, man, I don't know. I feel like it's a good move for his career, especially getting out of, like, a Bundesliga 2 team. But and I feel like he'll develop well, but it's really up to him to take that next step, and maybe he can help Norwich stay up, but it's going to be a tough situation for him, and I really don't like strikers or just players in general just going through 2 straight relegations. I mean, that's can't be good for your confidence, so yeah, kind of disappointed to see their results, but I like the move in theory, I guess, for Josh Sargent. Next is Sam Vines moving to Royal Antwerp, and again, solid move. Just go up to a Belgian club, get some development, foot in the door in Europe, get some game time. He's not currently in the national team picture, I guess. George Bellows ahead of him, Anthony Robinson, probably Serginho Dest playing out of position as well. Maybe Joe Scaley at this point as well. But, hey, you like the move. You like the initiative that he's taking to try to develop himself. So I'm rooting for Sam Vines, and I have to say that, like, the American team has a huge issue with left-footed players. Like, we've got John Brooks and Anthony Robinson are probably the only two who are, like, guaranteed to be in the team who are left-footed, and both of them were born outside the USA, so, you know, something to keep in mind, because left back, I feel like that's more of an open position than people give it credit for, but, yeah, excited about Sam Vines. Next, Owen Otasowie. He made a move to Club Brugge from Wolves. I feel like that's a good move for him. I mean, I liked him at Wolves. It was always nice, like, getting Premier League experience. That's a great thing, but consistent playing time comes before that, and I feel like it's a really mature decision to be able to make that judgment. Just go like, okay, no, I'm not going to get the most playing time, so I'm going to, you know, maybe take a step down so I can develop myself and become, like, a really good player. Like, that's a great decision by Owen. Like, honestly, it says a lot about him. He seems to be a very smart player, and I'm looking forward to seeing him play for Club Brugge. I mean, hopefully they'll give him more game time than Ethan Horvath, and, man, Ethan Horvath, we'll get into him later. But, yeah, I'm excited about him. Hopefully he can develop more, because he hasn't been playing soccer very long in his career. So just getting more game time, that's crucial for him. So we're looking forward to that. Next are guys who kind of moved on to playing time. Starting with Ethan Horvath, and it hasn't been the greatest move so far. He went to Nottingham Forest because he was behind Simon Mignolet at Club Brugge, and, well, he's not starting. Samba is still ahead of him, though his 2 performances in the Cup have been encouraging from what I've seen and what I've heard from Nottingham Forest fans. So he has a chance to break into the team, but, you know, taking the spot of an incumbent goalkeeper is always going to be difficult. And if he doesn't get playing time soon, it's really disappointing because we see his talent, but, man, that's just a tough position to get playing time in, so, yeah, disappointing for him. Next, Matt Miazga went to Alaves in La Liga on loan, and, man, this is probably the worst move of the summer. I do like him in the short term. I mean, going to a La Liga club, top flight experience in Spain, that's good, and, I mean, him adjusting to, different environments, that's probably a good thing, and if it forces him to pick up Spanish, maybe that can help him communicate with a couple of our players, but he needs to get out of Chelsea. Like, Erik Palmer-Brown, he needs to get out as well, but Matt Miazga, he needs to get out of Chelsea, because he's been taking step sideways after step sideways there, and, yeah, it's not going to happen at this point, and he's just a part of the loan army, and he needs to go, and hopefully that happens sooner rather than later. Next, Tyler Boyd moved from on loan from Besiktas to Saikor Rizespor. I don't think I got that name right, but again, solid move. Get some game time. If he hits a run of form, that could be very crucial for the team because as good as our wingers are, it's a bit of an injury-prone position. I mean, knock on wood, but Pulisic, we know how he can be. Tim Weah. Over in America, we got Paul Arriola, Jordan Morris. So, especially, like, domestically in the United States, like, the winger situation is not good. So, if he can get some playing time, if all he needs to do is get, like, hot on form at the right time, and he's back in the national team conversation. So, I do like the move, because he's somebody who needs game time at the moment. But, yeah, it looks disappointing that Besiktas isn't going to work out for him right now. And last guys are just a couple guys I wanted to throw out, somebody to watch. Chris Mueller to Hibs, as I mentioned. I don't really like it. It's a bit of a step sideways, in my opinion. He'll get to play in the Europa Conference League, but honestly, like, that might not be too much higher than the CONCACAF Champions League, which, I mean, I know that's weird to compare, but, like, I don't know, who's the big club in that? Like, Tottenham? That's just about it. So, yeah, I don't even really consider them a big club. I know I pick on Arsenal, so let me pick on Tottenham a little bit. So, yeah, it's not really that big of a competition. And, I mean, like I said before, getting your foot in the door in Europe, maybe if this could lead to a championship move or something. So I understand it, but not the best move in my opinion. And next, Haji Wright to Antalyaspor on loan. I mean, he's got a chance to break out this year. I mean, playing in Turkey, I mean, we've seen a lot of players use a good Turkish season to go into a lot more. I mean, Alexander Sorloth, he got a move to RB Leipzig from his really good performance in Turkey. So, and Haji Wright just got a hat trick this weekend against Tyler Boyd. So, I think it was against Tyler Boyd. Yeah, I remember that well. But Haji Wright just got a hat trick this week. So, hey, could be working out for him, and we're looking forward to him. And last guy is Matt Olosunde. You remember him? Well, he's been steadily moving up through the division in England. He started out in like the third tier with Rotherham. Then they got promoted. Now he's at Preston in the championship. So, I mean, truth be told, he's a right back, and we're kind of stacked there. So I don't really expect too much from him. But hey, just keep doing well. I mean, that's all you can do. Yeah, that's all I really have to talk about with summer transfers. I mean, some really good moves. Really look forward to Matthew Hoppe, Konrad, Gianluca Busio. And Chris Richards getting game time is going to be big. I'm really hoping I can see Nicolas Gioacchini do well. And yeah, that's all I really have to talk about. I feel like it was a good summer for us. And yeah, I'll see you.